everybody. Lance Russell and Dave Brown right along ringside. And by golly, we're about ready to go with championship wrestling, Davey.
Oh, we are indeed. I tell you what, coming up today, some good matches. Nightmare will be going against Stan Lane in the opening match today. We'll have beautiful Bobby Eaton going against Chief Thundercloud. It'll be the Midnight Express taking on the Gibson brothers, Rick and Robert, in a tag team match. And then a six-man tag team match for the expiration of time match today. It'll be Gypsy Joe, Speed, and Sweet Brown Sugar on one side of the ring. On the other, Bill Dundee, Steve Keirn, and the return of Steve Regal.
Yeah, we'll be looking forward to seeing Steve back in here. And been here in a long time, referring to Steve Regal, of course. And, of course, he's teamed up with a couple of guys, the Southern Tag Champions, Dundee and Keirn, and we're going to see plenty of that action. We've got lots of action coming up, and in action, we'll see Stan Lane and the Nightmare going in just a moment.
Referee Jerry Calhoun in the ring right now, as is Stan Lane. The opponent steps up to ringside. This will be a one-fall, 15-minute time limit match, introducing from the first family at 212 pounds, the Nightmare. And going against him from Delray Beach, Florida, 218 pounds, Stan Lane. One fall, 15-minute time limit match. Jerry Calhoun is the referee.
Yes, sir. Bell time, and here we go, Dave. Stan Lane facing another of the first family members.
Going against the Nightmare. The Nightmare, vicious wrestler. He resorts to whatever he feels necessary from time to time. Boy, he's going against a fine one in Stan Lane. Stan been taking on all challengers from the first family. Former member himself, of course. Nightmare. Backs Lane up to the rope. Referee Jerry Calhoun is there, calling for a break. Steps in between them. Nightmare with a wrist lock. Man, good move. Lane with some of the best counters you'll see. Yeah, not a bad one by the Nightmare there. You got to give him credit. But Stan ends up with a hold. Lane back on the ropes. Fired across the ring. Ducks under. Takes the Nightmare down to the mat. Minute 15 seconds gone in a one-fall, 15-minute time limit match. Ooh, up in the air. Stan Lane, body slam. Hangs on. Rolls the Nightmare over. Back onto the rope. Referee calling for a break. Stan backing away from him, but cautiously. I'm sure the Nightmare didn't pop him with a right fist as he was breaking it. Stan converts to head scissors. Nightmare's complaining about having his mask pulled. Stan Lane still got that head scissors on him. A little over 2 minutes gone. Nightmare gets out of the hole.
He did. Good move.
Stan, did a handstand and then kicked back to break loose from the Nightmare.
That took some doing and some strength to pump out of that one, too, because the Nightmare had him down there good.
Back to the center of the ring. Headlock by Stan Lane. Into the rope. Using the shoulder coming off of there. Stan Lane takes the Nightmare down. Shoulders down. Count of one. And then the right shoulder comes up. Three minutes gone. Well, the Nightmare's been complaining throughout the thing about having his mask pulled, especially after a nice takedown by Stan. Leapfrogging down to the mat with his shoulder, grabs the Nightmare and puts him down again. He's got his headlock. And again, the Nightmare yelling, screaming, and pointing to the mat. Stan Lane. Back up on one knee as the Nightmare's on his feet.
Forearm pounding into the ribs of Stan Lane. The Nightmare pitched forward on his face, Dave.
That was one of those good counters that we were talking about. Stan Lane. 4 minutes gone right now. The Nightmare complaining again. Discussion between Stan Lane and the referee. Warning him to keep the fist open.
Nightmare working on that squeaking wheel theory of getting the oil. If you complain enough in there, you'll draw the referee's attention to that. Battle of strength. Stan Lane with a little height advantage. The Nightmare a little bit stockier. Monkey flip.
Tell you what, against most folks, if you're going to get within that power struggle with Stan Lane, you got to find yourself on the losing end most of the time because he is strong. Thumb, I think. Jabbed Stan Lane in the throat with it. Nightmare. Well, he blocked it that time. Stan reverses it on him.
Stan slipped one in on him, Davey.
5 minutes, 45 seconds gone. 5:45 gone in the match.
So we have yet to hit the halfway mark in this 1-fall 15-minute time limit bout. Been a good struggle in there. Stan Lane, I assume that if we were keeping scorecards, would be a little bit up point-wise, as I think he's had more of the offensive effort. But the Nightmare want to work on him right now.
Nightmare picks him up. Knocks him across the knee. Backbreaker to cover. 1, 2. Close. Stan kicked out of it just before the 3 count. Upper arm by the Nightmare. Then a cover. 1, 2. Lane again. Able to break it at the 2 count.
Nightmare going after the first thing he could grab, and that was a pressure point on the side as Stan kicked out at that 2 count, trying to weaken him down.
We're nearing the 7-minute mark as the Nightmare continues to work on that pressure point. Stan. Backward for the arm. Duck under. He ran into the knee of the Nightmare. Got him right in the stomach. Double forearm by the Nightmare. Knee lift by Stan Lane. And knocked him back into the rope. Whipped him across the ring. Backdrop. Here's that kick. Lane hooks him down. 1, 2, 3. They grabbed him down here and held those shoulders on the mat, and Stan Lane comes up with a win. 7 minutes, 38 seconds the time off.
Classic struggle, Stan Lane, the Nightmare, a real good one. Nightmare battling him, took control. Stan came back, got it away from him, put him down in that jackknife. He crabbed him up and really tight. Got a 1, 2, 3 out of him. And the winner, Stan Lane. We got more action. Be back to it in just one moment. Channel 3, Championship Wrestling. Plenty of it today. You've got to stay tuned right after this break and see the next action coming up. Listen, Tuesday night, Louisville Gardens, you can't believe the card. 8 big matches. I'm not going to give them all to you. Here's a sample. Dundee and Steve Regal against Dennis Condrey and Randy Rose. Return Southern heavyweight title match. The King and the Dutchman, worth the price of admission by itself. Main event, return grudge match. Steve Keirn, Norvell Austin. And as you watch this entire program, you'll see why Stan Lane will have an added match with Jimmy Hart and Kenny Shane. We'll tell you more about that maybe a little bit later in the program. Billy, I want you to come in here and make a comment or two. I know you've got Steve Regal in there against Condrey and Rose, big guys, but also I'd like for you to comment on this Waller-Mantell thing.
That's right, Lance. I'm looking forward to that match with Steve as my partner. But just like you asked the question, I'm just going to... Now, Lance, if I was a betting man, I was going to have a little friendly bet with you. I'd have to take the Dutchman, because I talked to him a couple of days ago, man. He's all fired up. See, once you've never had that belt, you know, you've got nothing to lose. But once you've had it, everybody's saying, he's the champion, he's the champion. You want it back. Lawler, now, I like you, and I've wrestled you lots of times before, and I've wrestled the Dutchman. But this time, I'd bet on the Dutchman, Lance. Thank you.
Lawler would probably cover it all, too. Well, here's somebody you got to talk to. Norvell Austin. Now, you got a second shot at him, Steve. I had the impression that you may have gone in there a little over-anxious on Norvell.
Well, maybe you're right, Lance. Maybe that's exactly what happened. But I came at Norvell with everything I had. But Norvell, you had to change. Just remember this. I took your best shot. I took all of them, and you couldn't stop me. So you know what that means? I got it in my mind how much I am over you, brother. I know how much confidence I've got over you now because I took everything you had to give, chain and all. So if you're going to come back this Tuesday night, and if you're going to be coming back trying to beat me, you better bring a chain in each hand and a baseball bat in each hand because you couldn't stop me last week, and you ain't about to this week.
Watch this man at the Gardens Tuesday night. You don't want to miss that one. Well, there comes the time that we have to face it, and this is it. First family time as Jimmy Hart and all of the first family. What is this, Jimmy? Oh, great. It's a gala celebration. What are you celebrating?
Party City, baby. What are we celebrating? We're celebrating our newest member of the First Family. You know, I just was over at Route 103 Red Beard. He was going to come to the party today, but he had a little cold weather, man. He's got a little cold. We feel great today because we're celebrating our newest member to the First Family right here, Kenny Shane, baby.
Shane.
Come on over here, Russell. Come over here, man. Come on.
Okay, Jim.
What do you think about our new man?
I see him right here. Let me get around with Jimmy.
Come here, Kenny. Hold it.
Let's
All
move
right,
down. Can
settle
we move down?
Come here,
just-
Kenny. Settle down.
Can we move down just a little bit?
Hold it.
Jimmy,
Come here,
if we can get down
Okay.
this way, we got a little light, please. Thank you.
We want to present. All right, everybody, hold it for me. Hold it, sugar. Come here, Kenny. Get over here by me.
Oh, well,
Come on, we want 50,000 people to see this man right here. Come here, Russell. Kenny Shane, who is the greatest man in professional wrestling?
You, Jimmy Hart, you, baby.
Who is the greatest man, baby?
Jimmy Hart, look at
Look there, man. You know what? Kenny Shane, you know, when I saw Kenny Shane several weeks ago, this man saved my life. He showed me a lot of class. Now, if you can see, I've tried to dress him up a little bit because he was just a little redneck, but I've got that out of him. Hadn't I, Kenny, baby?
You got it, Jimmy.
Am
You
I
got
number
it,
one,
baby.
brother?
You number one.
Woo!
All right.
You know, Russell, a lot of things have happened to professional wrestling to Jimmy Hart, but he's been able to overcome them. Why? Because of my mind. Because, you know, when I put things together, like all of my men right here, I have the greatest entourage of professional athletes in the world, and I have a lot more people coming. Right, beautiful? Isn't he beautiful?
Think about our new man, isn't he great?
Look at
Yeah,
that.
he's
Show
marvelous.
him the back of this shirt. Show him the back of this jacket right here, baby. Look at this. Jimmy Hart.
Jimmy Hart, we are family.
Look at your
First
hair.
family.
Look at that hairstyle, brother. I love this man.
Real talent, I got to say that.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Eddie Marlin. Eddie Marlin. Eddie Marlin. Come here. You better get that. Come here, Eddie Marlin. You ain't joining nobody's party, man. You get out of here. Hey, Eddie Marlin. I want Eddie Marlin out here. This is our time, baby, not your time.
Come on, you guys. No trouble now, Bill and Steve. Come on.
You can't join anything, man. You don't even have the same class.
This is my party.
Jimmy Hart's face right in that pink. Just a little celebration. Come on.
see what he did. Get him out. Junior was going to do it.
Come on, Jimmy. Will you guys? You better head for the shower.
Dundee Keirn's going to pay for this. He don't never do that to Jimmy Hart. I'm telling you, Kenny.
I think he was just helping everybody celebrate. Looked like a celebration to me. Okay.
Come on.
Oh, I didn't have anything to do with it. Come on. Just take it out.
Look at his face.
I see his face. Don't blame me. You guys are constantly asking for something. You want to take Jimmy's music machine out? Dave, I gotta throw it back to you, man.
Oh, me. Well, we are just about ready to get things underway here for another match. But there has been a bit of a party in the studio. And it's going to take a minute just to clean it up here. Oh, cake all over everything. Confetti. The first family running through the studio, and it's a mess, so it's going to take us just a minute before we can get the match underway. Beautiful Bobby Eaton is scheduled in here against Chief Thundercloud. The Chief is already up in the ring. Here comes Bobby Eaton.
It's getting to the point where a man can't even have a party out here. What Stan Ling did was ridiculous. He'll never get away with that, I guarantee you.
Well, you know what? All right.
Throw in a chair in there. Come on.
Eaton irritated, starting off raucous in there just because it looked like something rained on the first family's party. Dave, I'm going to ring the bell and go clean up this coat here.
All right, go ahead.
Leave it with you in just 1 second as off comes the jacket of beautiful Bobby Eaton. Jimmy Hart is obviously not apparent during this match. He's back probably soaking down to get some of the... Stan was giving him a big bite of birthday cake. He and Kenny Shane both. Yes. Bell time. Here we go.
Okay. Bobby Eaton, first family member against Chief Thundercloud. Thundercloud from San Carlos, Arizona. Bobby Eaton from Huntsville, Alabama. Eaton with about a 26-pound weight advantage. Boy, Eaton is steamed. He's got the Chief hanging over that top rope, choking him. Eaton rips into the rope. Whoa! Nailed with a double job by Chief Thundercloud. Bobby Eaton hanging back close to the corner there. Chief Thundercloud, boy, he almost waited in there after him. Now showing up at ringside, Kenny Shane, Jimmy Hart's first family's assistant manager. He's going to sit at ringside here, looks like. Still got cake all over it from the interruption of the party occurred a few minutes ago. The referee stepped in between them, Chief Thundercloud and Bobby Eaton, both of them with fists doubled, and the referee said, have none of that. Now, wait a minute. Eaton grabbing a cane. Thundercloud takes Bobby Eaton down to the mat, steps over. What a Chief working on that left arm. Bobby Eaton on the mat. They're pulling. Bobby Eaton. What's the arm lock? No, Chief Thundercloud. Reverses it on him. There's some hair pulling again. Eaton yanks a handful of hair, and he's got the advantage as a result of it. Thundercloud reverses again, up on his feet. And again, both of them have the fist doubled, and referee Jerry Calhoun stepped in between them. Two minutes, 50 seconds gone. This was a one-fall, 15-minute time limit match. Bobby Eaton backs the Chief into the corner. Chief blocked the right arm. Came back with one of his own. He's got Eaton back into a corner. Flips him across the ring. Into the turnbuckles hard. Oh, and a chop you can hear all the way across the street. Double chop by the Chief. Bobby Eaton hits him out of the cover. Count of one is all he got. One count. Chief Thundercloud mounting quite an offensive here. Boy, he's on the warpath against Bobby Eaton. Oh, double chop across the back by Bobby Eaton. Eaton had a chokehold. Upper part of the arm. Bobby Eaton takes Thundercloud over to the ropes, using that rope to choke him, pulling his hair at the same time. Double forearm across the back again by Bobby Eaton. Follows with a right hand to the mouth. On the rope, referee trying to get it back. 4.5 minutes gone. Face lock by Bobby Eaton. Eaton assuring Kenny Shane over here at ringside that he's got him. Got him where he wants him. Bobby Eaton hanging on. Thundercloud. To force out of it, it looks like. Referee made Bobby Eaton break it all together there. Thundercloud fights back with that right hand. Flips Bobby Eaton into the rope. Oh. Good move by Eaton. You got to give him that. Thundercloud, any body slam. Eaton heads for the rope. On the middle rope. Flies off of there. And there's a cover. 1, 2, 3. This one's over. 5 minutes, 25 seconds, 5:25, and the win goes to beautiful Bobby Eaton over Chief Thundercloud. Thundercloud, well, holding his mouth. Boy, Eaton really nailed him right in the mouth. And that was a turning point right there.
Well, you won it.
You got the win. 5:25, again, was the time on it.
Hey, you know the day of the Cowboys and Indians over. Right now, it's the person look at the guy right here. Look at his hair.
Jamie, I saw him a few minutes ago.
I guarantee Stan Lane's going to pay for that.
Okay.
I guarantee that.
All right. Beautiful Bobby. Still moaning and groaning about the little party pooping that Stan and Steve and Bill distracted him while Stan got up behind him. And I didn't even know that he was back in that ring in there. And all of a sudden, I heard that boom. And there it was. It was worth the icing and stuff all over the coat just to see Hart and Shane with that stuff on their face. We'll take time out. We're going to be back in just one moment. And confrontations that stirred an awful lot of interest was the one for the Southern heavyweight crown between Jerry the King Lawler and Dutch Mantell. Well, speaking of Lawler, here he comes out right now. We had some footage we want to talk to you about. We'll wait and see. Here, just you can use
I want that chair for somebody else. I'll sit right here, Lance, if you don't mind.
Oh, well, we were just...
Got another chair there.
We were just going to show some footage. We had made the comment that the confrontation between Lawler and Mantell stirred an awful lot of interest among wrestling fans.
I know you were going to show some footage. I'm the one that asked you to show the footage. Don't you remember that, Lance?
Yeah.
I brought the footage down here. We know that. The reason I wanted to show that footage is because I think, as everyone knows, I took my belt back away from Dutch Mantell. You realize that, don't you, Lance?
Yes,
he was
I know.
temporarily holding it. I took my belt back, and at the end of the match, I had some guys jump in on me, and they were pounding me pretty good, and Dutch Mantell, instead of helping me like any gentleman or any man, you don't have to be a gentleman, just a man, like any man would do, he chose to turn tail and run. He left me in the ring, and he is a big gutless wonder. Now, what I have done, as you know, Lance, I have offered Dutch Mantell another shot at this belt. I have offered him a title match just to get back in the ring with me, and for some unknown reason, Dutch Mantell has refused to wrestle me again. Now, you can hear what the people are saying. Dutch Mantell is obviously scared of me. Now, I'm going to give him a chance right now. There's a chair sitting right over here. Dutch Mantell, I would like for Dutch Mantell to come out here right now. And, you know, it's probably not right, but I could be wrong. I'll admit I could be wrong. Probably not, but I could be. So I want Dutch Mantell, if he's got any guts at all, to just come out here, sit down in that chair right there, and tell me what was on his mind when, when he left me in that ring. I want him to look at the film, and then I just want him to explain. If he's a man, he should come out here and sit in that chair. Is that right?
I think he's already made an explanation, Jerry, sufficient to say that if it happened today or tomorrow or the next day or whenever, that the circumstances might be different. At that time, he was obviously irritated about it, and he chose not to get into your personal squabbles with somebody else. That's the way I heard it. And, well, there's the Dutchman
That's
right there.
I was going to say he chose not to come out here, but I see that he does have the guts to come out. Just have a seat, Dutch.
Now, let me say one thing. I'm not afraid of you, and I am a man. Now, what do you want with me?
All I want you to do is sit down in that chair right there and watch this film with me and about 350,000 other people and explain to me why you did what you did. Can you do
You want
that?
me to sit down?
If you don't mind.
Okay, now let's just keep it nice and peaceful out here today.
I think it'll be peaceful.
Dutch, how about you using that microphone, and I'll handle this one. Now, if we are ready, can we take a look at the film?
I would like to.
Okay, let's take a look at our tape on the action with Dutch and Jerry Lawler. Lawler hammers his way out. Misses a right, and Dutch again in the sleeper. On the rope, Mantell fires a right. Lawler reverses. He goes for the sleeper hold. Lawler whipped into the turnbuckles, and Dutch misses. Lawler got out of the way. He's on the rope. Drops with a right hand. Count of one, count of two, and count of three. But his foot was on the rope. The referee couldn't see it. 23 minutes, 50 seconds. The winner and the new Southern heavyweight champion, Dutch Mantell, has lost to Jerry the King Lawler. Lawler, the winner. Here comes Jimmy Hart. Bobby Eaton, Sweet Brown Sugar. What are they doing here? Jerry Lawler, the winner. 23-50, the undisputed Southern heavyweight champ. Mantell looks at him and walks out of the ring. So the first family pounding away on Lawler, and Mantell has left the wrestling area. Big double backdrop. Hart with a cane. Eaton with a boot. Here comes Roy Rogers, Rick McCord. Hart jumps out of the ring. Now he's back in as Rogers, McCord battling with Sugar and Eaton, and now they all take off. But Lawler, while winning the championship, one of his great moments, He is undisputed Southern heavyweight champ. Is left prone in the ring. He won it in 23:50. But the family did him in after it was over. The winner, Jerry Lawler.
Lawler, you got a big fat mouth, brother. I'm going to tell you, why should I help you? I don't see what you got to be so hot about. You got the Southern belt. Now, I didn't contract to fight your battles. Now, I didn't make all these enemies that you made. Now, you might swerve some people into thinking you're a king, but you ain't swerving me, Jack, because I knew you back when. I don't need you ain't swerving me, Dutch. No, you got it. You got it. Let me say one thing. Now, you came out here and you ran me down, and not once did you say I was a good wrestler, did he, Lance? Not once did you say I was a good wrestler. Not once did you say that I was a good competitor. You said a lot of things, a lot of insults, and a lot of accusations. Now, you may not have been listening to what I said before. I want to wrestle you for this belt. But I want to do it on my time, my terms. Now, you can't psych me out because I've been down the road before, and I know how to chase a champion. But you're not psyching me out, and when it gets ready for the time, when I feel the time is right, I'm going to come back after it, Lawler. How long is it going to take? What's the time going to be? You're right. I didn't say you was a good wrestler. I said you're a coward, Dutch Mantell. I said you're yellow. I said you're chicken to get in the ring with me. I'm giving you a shot at this belt, and you won't take it. You know why? You know why you won't take it? The same reason you showed on that film. You didn't want to jump in there and help me because you were afraid those guys would kick your butt. And you're afraid I'll kick your butt, and that's why you won't get in the ring with me. I'm going to say one more thing. Let me say one more thing. I said I wanted to be a friend of yours. Win, lose, or draw. But you made that impossible. Not me, Lawler. You made it impossible. Not me, Jack. And I'm not going to sit out here in front of 350,000 people and let you run me down. You're not going to wrestle me because you're a coward. No, I'll tell you what I'll do. Hey, I'm not going to sit out here and listen to it. You're a coward. Sit out and listen to it. All you got to do is say you're a coward.
Hey, come on, Jerry. All right, Jerry. Now knock it off. Hey, come on, you guys. Yeah. Get him out of there. Get him out, please. All right. Hey, Jerry, just get on out of here. Just now, come on. Just save it. There's no point in that.
Okay, I'm going to tell you. Lawler, I'm going to be the last man you ever slapped, Jack. I'm going to tell you, you want the match? You got it, head balling. Put it on the card, buddy. I'm coming after you, Lawler. I'm going to be the last man you ever slapped, friend. And I'm taking that belt back. You just crank it up. Turn me.
Yeah. Come on, Dutch. You guys, settle your problems. Come on, Dutch. Just settle them somewhere else.
You tell them all to come on the car, Lawler. I'll be the last man you ever slapped.
Okay, we'll talk to Eddie about it and all. Right now, let's take time out, and we'll be back. Ooh, goodness, I mentioned a moment ago, 8 big matches Tuesday night, Louisville Garden. Let me run down them all because there is a bunch. Dream Machine and Sweet Brown Sugar right there in Louisville at the Gardens Tuesday night going against Rick and Robert Gibson. Roy Rogers against the UFO, Jimmy Hart's new one. The Monk, another new one, going against Rick McCourt. Then it'll be a $5,000 bounty match. Stan Lane, beautiful Bobby Eaton going at it. Dennis Condrey, Randy Rose, trying Bill Dundee and Steve Regal. Then that Southern heavyweight title match, my friend, the Dutchman and the King. And, brother, I'll tell you what, this one is going to be something else to see. Norvell Austin better be ready. You heard Steve Keirn a little while ago. Let me tell you, he is going to be loaded for bear and ready for the bout. And that special added match where Stan Lane is going to be in the ring against Jimmy Hart and his newest protege, Kenny Shane. Lane against Shane and Hart, and that's going to be the end-up action coming up there. Louisville Gardens, Tuesday night. Be there.
All right, looks like we got a substitution on one side of the ring over there. First family arriving on the scene. It's going to be an expiration of time, 6-man tag team match, and they're already fighting. We'll dispense with the introductions and handle that as we go along here. Steve Keirn, whoa. Sweet Brown Sugar thrown out of the ring by Stan Lane. Gypsy Joe and Steve Keirn going at each other right now. Steve just rammed him into Bill Dundee's boot over there in the corner. It's Gypsy Joe, Sweet Brown Sugar, and Speed on one side of the ring. On the other, Steve Keirn, Bill Dundee, and Stan Lane. First Family has Kenny Shane, their assistant manager, out here with them.
We'd originally had scheduled Steve Regal, which we said we'd be seeing Steve a little later on. Apparently, Steve had transportation difficulties coming in here and was unable to make it by the time the match got started. So, a mighty able one, Stan Lane, with Steve Keirn and Dundee.
Oh, Dundee just nailed Sweet Brown Sugar, Coco Ware. He got him coming off the ropes with that right hand. Brown Sugar went to the corner, but the wrong one, and Stan Lane smacked him while he was over there. Dundee stomping on his fingers, fired into the rope. Oh, both of them hit the mat. Dundee into the rope. Brown Sugar had set himself, and they ran together in a head-on collision. And both of them down on the mat. Dundee struggles to his feet, heads for the corner. Gypsy Joe got him from behind, but Billy did get the tag on Stan Lane. Lane, the backdrop on Sweet Brown Sugar. There's the kick. Sugar over to the corner, gets the tag. Here's Speed coming in. He's in the air. Body slam by Stan Lane. Bill Dundee back in. There's a cover. Brown Sugar from behind. Plants the foot in the back. Broke the cover. Look out. It comes Jimmy Hart, Bobby Eaton, all the First Family. Many of them are in there, but boy, we got a ring full as Hart and the rest of the First Family came out here. Jumped Steve Keirn, Bill Dundee, and Stan Lane. Hart with a stick. I got Bobby Eaton with a stick. Lane grabs him. Dundee, whoa, nails Bobby Eaton with a chair, and then the Nightmare. Now Hart up there swinging the stick. Bobby Eaton's got a stick. Keirn grabs him. Keirn, Dundee, and Stan Lane are now headed back to their dressing room. First Family still in here. In the ring. Yeah, all of them was sick. Not all of them, but a couple of them was sick. They were disqualified.
Where are they? How many of them you want to have them outnumbered in there? Can't you keep something within order and within the rules?
Let me tell you something, man. I'm trying to play by the rules.
Oh, yeah.
Every rule is game. Hold it. I'm trying to play by the rules ever since I've been in professional wrestling. But you see what happened, huh? Several weeks ago, I tore up my manager's license. You see this? Well, baby, I'm fixing to put some tape and put them back together. Because Stan Lane, today, RCA Records was watching Jimmy Hart. Columbia Records was watching Jimmy Hart. Redbeard at Rock 103 was watching Jimmy Hart. Because I'm on the verge of a multi-million-dollar record deal with my record We Hate School. But you see, you humiliated me. But it's never going to happen again. Because my licenses are back together. And I'm making you a challenge right now. If you have got enough guts to accept it, Stan Lane. And I say you don't. Me and the First Family against you, brother. Have you got enough guts to accept it? I say you don't. I say you don't. Come on, baby. Who's got guts? Come on, who's got guts, man?
You mean the whole family against Stan Lane.
Stan Lane, I'm going to get you myself, boy. Who's got guts?
First fall ends up in a disqualification, Dave. We're going to take time out. Check our time, and we'll be back in a moment. family was out here having a big party, celebrating, and all of that. And they had some guests drop in. Dundee and Keirn came to say, hey, can't we get in the party? And then after that, an incident that was worth the entire day, and the suit and everything else. Let's take a look. There's Stan Lane, who came right in behind. Now, Hart and Kenny Shane, the newest of the first family, standing right by the ring, and Stan pushed the face down. And there's Jimmy Hart and Kenny Shane. And the party, I must say, came to an abrupt end. That's all there was to that. So we thought for you folks that hadn't seen it that we would show that. Speaking of Stan Lane.
Let me tell you something, Lance. You know, I didn't check my horoscope this morning, but it must be Stan Lane's lucky day, brother. All the cards and letters are reported in the studio. All the prayers are answered because Jimmy Hart wants to wrestle me, right? Well, let me tell you something, Hart. You stole my money from me, just one guy, and I pushed your ugly face in that cake. I don't want the whole first family involved in this. I don't even want my friends involved in this. I want you and me, Hart. But you know something, Lance? I know the guy hadn't got guts enough to sign a one-on-one contest with me. So I'll tell you what I'll do, Jimmy. You wimp-fisted little wimp. I'll take on both you and your little stooge, that country nothing happening bumpkin. You and Shane. Sign the match, Hart, because I'm ready.
Okay. Stan Lane was ready in more than one instance as he did a good number on the cake with Jimmy Hart. And here comes.
You want it? You got it, brother! You got it!
Oh.
You got it!
Okay, okay. All right, Jimmy. Come on.
Tell him he's got the match.
All right, I heard it, Jimmy. Will you just take your raving out of here? We got it? Okay, Eddie. I'll put it down. Okay. Let's see if we can get the family back in here and get the second fall of action going. Jimmy Hart and Kenny Shane out hollering and screaming and raising Sam Hill. And we now are ready for the second fall of action. We're off and running. Gypsy Joe, he's down on the mat before we got the bells sounded good, Dave.
Boy, Dundee had him sailing through the air. He sets it up. And Steve Keirn backdropped him. Gypsy Joe from Romania. A kick.
We got about 2 minutes left, Dave. That's all the time that we've got. It's 2 minutes to go.
Stan Lane. Boy, he sent Joe flying into the ropes. Sweet Brown Sugar grabbed him from outside. Speed around behind him.
Sugar's in there. Hart, we've heard enough out of you now. Will you get out of here and leave us alone? Everybody in the ring. The whole crew.
Come on, Gypsy, get it! Get it! Get it!
Well, we've settled back down. Stan Lane dumped into the ropes. He holds on and is on the ring apron. Gypsy Joe going after him. Here comes Bill Dundee. Bobby Eaton grabs the chair. What a mess. Sugar holding on to Stan Lane while Gypsy Joe's got him from behind. Hart taking some cheap shots at him. Come on, Jimmy. I don't know what happened, Dave. I'm glad he stopped it. Uh-oh. Brown Sugar after Stan Lane.
He apparently saw Hart interfering over here and disqualified him. I heard the referee say it was disqualification. Yeah.
That's great. Hart outside the ring with that stick poking away on Steve Keirn. Hitting Stan Lane. Yeah. Talking about cowards, they got 5 of them out here.
The 3 guys to jump on Gypsy.
Disqualification. Okay, that's going to be it. Disqualification. We're going to check our time. We'll be back in just a moment. Here's the action go. You don't want to miss the last fall of this action coming up, my friend. I'll tell you for a fact. Tuesday night, you will not want to miss any of the 8 big matches, including Dundee and Regal against Condrey and Rose, Dutch Mantell trying Jerry to King Lawler, Norvell Austin return grudge match with Steve Keirn, and it has been signed, in case you didn't hear it before, Stan Lane against Jimmy Hart and Kenny Shane. Let me get the express in here. Whistle tootin'. Norvell Austin going to be back in there with Steve Keirn, who wants some more of Norvell.
Lance Russ, you know what? I kind of like you, but you know, on the hang-up I got against you, you like Steve Keirn and Dundee and Dutch Mantell and Jerry Lawler and all them dudes like that. But let me tell you one thing. Things got funky last week in Louisville, Kentucky, didn't it? Steve Keirn, you thought you was smart by go ahead and busted my head open. But I can give it, and also, as you can see, I can take your tooth, Gaddy-O, and let's get funky. Let me tell you one thing. Things got so heavy, Steve Keirn went and ran away from me in the ring. I was pounding him. He brought a chain in the ring. Understand me, Lance Russ? He brought a chain, and I went ahead and took that chain from him and pounded him in the mat with it. Can you understand? When the going get tough, the tough get going, and that's me. I ain't gonna take no back seat from nobody, boy. Let me put my eyes on and see what I ain't looking at. Steve Keirn, you be ready. Come to tonight. Jack Rabbit.
Norvell is all excited about this return match in there.
Steve Keirn wore out 2 pair of Nike shoes trying to get away from our man here. And when it comes down to Dundee and whoever your partner is, which it should be the champion, Bill Dundee, the little freak of nature, whatever you think you are, let me tell you something. Don't go out looking for other partners. Your partner is Steve Keirn, champion. You're looking at the champions right here, boys. All you got to do is give us a chance, and you are gone. You have lost the belt. You've lost all your Nike shoes. And one more thing. Louisville, Kentucky, home of bluegrass. Jackasses can't keep up a racehorse.
Best thing that we've done this entire program was take that last break and clear the cotton-picking place out.
Yeah.
It was about ready to explode there,
You know, under some circumstances, we might start another fall here with just a little bit of time. But I don't think it's wise today, do you? No, I think the best thing to do is just leave it alone.
No point in getting both of our suits messed up.
You're right.
For a fact. And one more fall, it'd have been the whole thing. I do want to say that some really interesting things going on, man. They're really coming down with some really interesting things in championship wrestling right now. You've got the situation of Steve Keirn, who is just chomping at the bit for a single match with Norvell Austin. You've got the Express as a total looking for those Southern Tag titles. Now everybody's going to be saying, I can beat Dutch Mantell. Let me have the AWA Southern Heavyweight title. And don't forget that I think certainly out of the respect for the fact that this guy was the wrestler of the decade in the 70s, he held that Southern title for 6 out of 10 years, Jerry Lawler is going to have further consideration on it. It's true that Mantell did defeat him, but I just think Jerry is going to have consideration. Now, Stan Lane has put out a challenge to Jimmy Hart and Kenny Shane. That's Jimmy's new assistant manager. Right. And so remember when Jimmy had Chick Donovan as his assistant manager, he was kind of the acting. Well, he's got Kenny Shane now, and Stan Lane says, tell you what, I'll take both of you in there, because he knew Hart wasn't about to get in there by himself. So I tell you what, things are popping, friend. Let's go over today's card.
All right, Stan Lane won over the Nightmare today in a single match. Beautiful Bobby Eaton over Chief Thundercloud. A little over 5 minutes for that one. And it was the Gibson brothers, Rick and Robert, defeating the Midnight Express. They defeated them on disqualification. Norvell Austin interfered in the situation, so the Gibsons get the win on the DQ. Then, the 6-man tag team match, Bill Dundee, Steve Keirn, and Stan Lane winning it in 2 straight falls over Gypsy Joe, Speed, and Sweet Brown Sugar. They won both of those falls on disqualification. Free-for-all at the end of the first fall, free-for-all at the end of the second fall, and as we said at the beginning of this segment right here, why start a third one, right?
Good thinking, Dave. By golly, the fun's just beginning, friends. We'll be back next week. You join us. For Dave Brown, Lance Russell, bye-bye, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of championship wrestling.